Hold for 3 seconds. Hey, good evening. It's Michael and Don with Jacksonville Beekeepers Association. We're out here at the Jacksonville Beekeepers Apiary where we manage our beehives and do educational things from month to month. So we welcome you to come out next time and do a hands-on demonstration of your bees. But today we have some overwintered honey that's been stored on these hives, and we need to move it out of the way, and we're going to show you how we harvest that honey, and we're going to move it. We're going to bring it over to the club tonight and demonstrate extracting the honey and how you do that. So this will get you a head start in the upcoming months when you start to harvest your own honey. Don's going to help me, and we're going to show you a couple methods that we use. One is if you have a lot of hives and a lot of bees, we have what we call a fume board. This is a standard tool used in the bee industry for harvesting honey. And you would acquire a fume board. It has a felt interior to absorb the chemical. And then you would buy a bee go or some type of a bee repellent that you would spray inside of the cover. And you would replace the cover of the hive with this new cover. And the cover has a metal outer lid that heats up in the sun that then fumigates the hive, pushing the bees down to the brood nest. And it would help you remove the honey supers with as few bees as possible. So that's how that's used. We're not going to use that technique tonight. It works best on a hot sunny day than it does out in the shade. So we're going to do we're just going to do a simple removing the frames one by one and brooming them off. And we have a bee brush somewhere, Don. Don's gonna get one while I crack into the hive here. Give them a little bit of smoke. I'm gonna try to be quick. All right, we added, I think this box here, we may have added a honey box. Oh boy, nope, it's light. Okay, so this is just a box we gave them last inspection to put any surplus honey in. As I recall, this is one of the heavy ones. So this is one of our heavy boxes. I'm gonna go ahead and just set it. I'm gonna give them a little smoke. Try and push some down with just the smoke. All right. Get a place to put my smoker. This is about 45 pounds. And then this is our second box with honey in it. All this honey was overwintered, and it's a little dark and has kind of a rich, sweet flavor. And we don't want to mix it with our light spring honey. This is our queen excluder. Well, we got a lot of box on this hive. All right, so we got our 2 honey boxes off. Now I'll go ahead and show you how at home you can get your honey out. So you'll need Richard, can you see the box in the background there? So that we have an empty shell with no frames in it. I'm going to simply remove frames one by one out of this, and using my bee brush, I'm going to just brush off the bees and move my frames into that empty box. And the smoke did a pretty good job. There's not too many bees on these. There you go, Don. Don's gonna run them over there if you got a helper that works.
That is a nice looking. That was a nice looking one.
Yeah. I didn't introduce Richard behind the camera. Richard is the vice president of the club, chief apiary manager.
Like I need a title.
Yeah. Who likes titles? All right, so I'm just knocking off the few bees. Now, this was, I mentioned it was 45 pounds, and that's heavy for a lot of people to carry around their backyard to their garage. So as I get about halfway through with this, you could actually take that box of just 4 or 5 frames that's more manageable by weight and just use and haul that into the house to extract that. So now we're at 5 frames, and that 45 pounds is just about 22 pounds. So that might be where you stop for the moment and harvest your honey. And then the important thing about harvesting honey at certain times of year is you want to get the honey out of these combs. These combs are real valuable to the bees, and that by us taking this out right now in the middle of the kind of the start of the spring honey flow, and so we're going to give the bees room to store that new nectar that they're bringing in on these already established honeycombs, and it'll increase our production for the year. So instead of making maybe 40 pounds of honey, we can maybe make 50 or 90 pounds of honey because of these existing combs. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pause right here, and we'll be right back. As I'm just going to finish up some of these to save some time on the camera. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back. We've already pulled the frames from the first box, and we've nearly finished the second box. We're going to wrap this up pretty quick, and Dawn is going to put this last frame in the hive. I'm going to show you one quick tip. Sometimes you'll have frames that don't have a lot of cappings, and we talk about not extracting honey that's not capped. You can take a sample of that between your fingers, and if it stretches, it's okay. This is actually a tad wet, but we have so much capped honey in this, that little bit of wet honey is going to blend out fine. But you do need to be aware of the honey being ripe or not before you harvest it. All right, and let's wrap. We've got our 2 boxes of honey. Should add up to an easy 5-gallon bucket. To a 5-gallon bucket. And we'll go ahead and call it a wrap out here in the field. And we'll see you back at the auditorium soon.